assignment regarding article review. The article that I reviewed is related with the shariah screening process on the equity market, the challenges from shariah scholars' perspective. This article is written by Ana Azmi of the University of Malaya, Kuala Lumpur, Normawati Non, Prince Sultan University Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and Norazlin Abdulaziz of University of Malaya, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. These articles actually published at International Journal of Islamic and Middle Eastern Finance and Management on the year of 2017. If you want to download this article, you can download it through Emerald Insight website. The author stated that the purpose of this article to let know the shariah screeners or the readers of this article as well, what the challenges for the shariah screeners or shariah advisors when in the process of the screening activities of the business that have to be based on shariah principles. The application of this article actually to let know the responsibilities of shariah screeners, shariah advisors, and then the business owner as well, that the business, the activities that they are doing have to be complied with the shariah principle in the shariah or shariah perspective. Authors actually focus on 3 countries, which are Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, and United Kingdom. Because why actually authors choose those 3 countries? Because 3 countries is among the countries that actually support the development of Islamic finance in general, as well as equity market. Actually, the authors found that there is a uniqueness in 3 countries they focus on. For the first, Malaysia. Actually, for the screening process in Malaysia, they have to be based on the regulations, because in Malaysia they have a regulatory body such as SAC or Sharia Advisory Councils, which they have to determine the business, they have to exercise the business that operated in the countries of Malaysia are based on Sharia principles. Instead of 2 countries which are Saudi Arabia and United Kingdom, both of the countries don't have regulatory body to exercise or to make sure the operation on or the business activities in their country are based on Sharia principles. Instead of, they usually will acquire Sharia advisor, or they will ask Sharia screeners, or they make them Sharia based by itself. Because like Saudi Arabia, actually the system of the country is based with Sharia, so they don't need to have a regulatory body to make sure the business that operated in Sharia principle. So what are actually challenges of Sharia screeners to make sure the business that operates in accordance with the Islamic perspective? The authors in this article actually divide the Sharia screening method into 2, which are qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative is the Sharia screeners or advisors have to make sure that the business operates Sharia principle activities, which are the business must free from element of riba, element of darar, and etc. Or maybe they have a business like alcohol, so it is forbidden. Qualitative method is make sure the quality of the business itself. And then the quantitative, actually usually Sharia screeners look at the financial announcements or annual report of the businesses or the companies. They actually exercise their income, their profit. Either it is the profit they have or the income they have. Actually, there is element of interest. So it's basically that's actually quantitative. The method is made through the accessing the annual report of the companies. And then there are some categories in Islamic principle that's supposed to be responsible achieved by the business owner or the company, which are the categories are required, expected, and then desired category. So required category is category that based on principle of shariah itself. Actually, the business has to be free from any element of in that are already prohibited in Islam. Yeah, as I mentioned just now, such as interest, gharar, uncertainty, and etc. And then expected category is such a responsibility that actually the business owner or a company must do. So expected category is category that actually a company or business owners, they have activity that little bit contradicted with Islamic perspective, or dislike operations, such as maybe they have a child labor and etc. And then the last category is desired principles. Desired principles here, whereby the companies or business activity, they have like to do social responsibilities. But in this article, actually the authors only focus on required category, which are the Sharia advisor or Sharia screeners. They have to focus on. So the methodology used in this article is qualitative approach, whereby the authors actually make 19 interviews with the managers and Sharia screeners, Sharia advisors on 3 countries. After interview section, actually the authors found that in Saudi Arabia and United Kingdom, actually they don't have really regulatory body to examine or to regulate the Sharia screeners, to make sure their screening process are based on Sharia perspective. However, they actually on those 2 countries, in Saudi Arabia or United Kingdom, they actually make the assessment of Sharia-based activities by their own self. They do it like voluntarily. However, actually in Malaysia, because they have everybody, so actually the SAC or Sharia Advisory Council is indirectly control the operation of business through the Sharia perspective. However, the author as well determined that actually the main challenges of Sharia screeners and then advisors face when they have to determine the prohibited activities in required category. So, but me as an article reviewer, actually I also put my personal comment. However, I still refer to another article as justification of my comments. Here in this article, actually the authors didn't mention the criteria of Sharia screeners itself, and then the author also didn't mention the Sharia screening process. So, example, in Malaysia, they have in the process of Sharia screening, they have like benchmark, whereby the companies they have to follow. For example, if the business have activities, that activities actually more than 5%, based on the benchmark, the Sharia Advisory Council actually will reject these activities. So in Malaysia, actually, the Sharia Advisory Council will consider the companies that still bring a benefit against the community, and as well, Sharia Advisory Council will focus on the public comments regarding to the activities that companies have in their trading process. Another issue that's not listed by authors are the questionable source of hukum of Sharia methodology, because even though there are a lot of scholars who use several legal maxims such as harm to be eliminated or ad-darar yuzalu, however, that 5% benchmark actually is not found the legal base from the main resources where the 5% actually come and then used by the Sharia screeners as a benchmark in Malaysia. Because as we know that to pursue a perfect business activity is almost impossible, because there are some companies still use conventional bank, because they still the bank that they use is based on interest or riba. But however, this article actually useful to Sharia screeners or Sharia advisors to make sure that they responsibilities and then whatever they do in the process of Sharia screenings, it must be based on Sharia principle or Sharia regulations. That's all for me, and then thank you so much for watching this video, and I do apologize for any mistakes. See you next time, inshallah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.